Hey everyone, Rylis Productions here. We just got our prefix built 426 all aluminum Gen 3 Hemi in earlier today from the shipping freight company, and wanted to show you guys what's inside the plastic engine crate that it comes in. So here is the engine itself. This is a 426 cubic inch 7-liter displacement Gen 3 Hemi. If you can see there, it is an aluminum block, and then down there you can see the Mylodon road race pan. We do a number of modifications to our engine builds to make it more reliable at the track. Namely, we replace out the OEM damper with an ATI super damper because this is a very robust piece. We swap out the throttle body to a fast big mouth 87 millimeter throttle body. We like it because you can easily attach a throttle cable to an E-body gas pedal. We also swapped out the OEM steel water neck to a Billet Technologies aluminum piece to further minimize any electrolysis that happens in the cooling system. As you can see, we still run a 5.7 Eagle plastic intake, as well as plastic valve covers to further minimize any extra weight that's on this engine. If I estimate this engine, it should be around 420 pounds. The shipping company listed the crate, the plastic crate, and the engine itself at 460 pounds, and I'm assuming that the plastic crate is around 40 pounds. So it's a really lightweight engine, and the majority of that is due to the aluminum block. If I pan down around to the rear, you can see the block a little better. It's the older 6.1 aluminum block design from Aero Racing. They cast these blocks a couple of years ago. You can see it does not have the ribbing that's available in the 7.0 and 6.4 drag pack blocks that are available from Mopar. Those blocks have extra ribbing here in the valley and the at the motor mount areas to make them a little stouter for drag racing use. That being said, this block is no slouch. It'll still handle a lot of horsepower, up to 1,000 at least, according to PREFIX. And we only require 500 rear wheel for road course use, so this block will be plenty for our purposes. If we pan up, you can see that it still has the OEM fuel rail assembly. This OEM setup for the fuel rails is fine for the street, but it's a deadhead setup and we don't like to use this. So we're going to use a 4 Innovations billet fuel rail setup, which is a full return system. That keeps the fuel a little bit cooler when you're going around the road course. We use a similar setup on the CUDA, and speaking of which, the CUDA's engine is here. This engine was built by Aero Racing a couple of years ago, and it's been really reliable and fun at the road courses that we run in Northern California. What we learned from this engine, we're going to apply to the 73 Challenger build, and that car is going to be a really fun ride for whoever the lucky owner will be when they get it in the future and when we're done with it. That's the motor there, and here is the motor again. We still have a lot of work to do to this motor. We need to swap out the oil pressure and oil temperature sensors. We're not going to use these we're going to swap those out. We're going to block this off with a 1/8 NPT there so it doesn't leak, and we're going to replace this sensor with a 3/8 NPT to -10 AN, which goes to our remote Moroso oil filter setup. We're going to get rid of the Mopar filter, and we're going to use a oil filter bypass adapter for that, which you can see here. We still have to install the throttle cable, and these are some bolts for the crankshaft for the flywheel. So like I said, we still have a lot of work to do to this engine to get it to our full specs and running. But this is by far the biggest and most difficult piece for our puzzle, that is the 73 Challenger build. We're very happy to be lucky enough to get it in our hands, and this is what you get when you buy a PREFIX built engine. They are very good engine builders, and they supply the TA2 series for all the makes for GM as well as Mopar, and getting one of their engine builds is a great addition to your project. We love them, and this is our second PREFIX engine, so I just wanted to share it with you guys. But that being said, we still have a lot to work, like I said, but our focus is going to switch over to our workshop. It's getting kind of tight here in our garage at Rylis Productions, so for our next project is going to be a 36 by 42 workshop that we're going to erect over the summer. Once that is up, we're going to move our operations to that larger workshop so we can focus on our projects there, so we can grow. But for now, we just wanted to share our engine with you, and stay tuned. It's going to be a fun build. So that's it for now. This is Rylis Productions. See you guys at the track. Later.